Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of the Men's Lounge. It's good to be back. Of course, I speak like this because we're in a new year. And what can I say? A happy new year to all of you. You know all the things that happened last year. We have brought some to this year. We're only hoping and praying that some of them will leave us. In fact, it will leave us. If you believe in me, say amen. I'm talking about Corona. Corona is still disturbing us and it's something that we need to take seriously. So guys, let's not feel it doesn't exist anymore. It is there. It is there, and it's becoming day in day out becoming a nuisance to all of us. Let's make sure we still go by the protocols. It's very, very important. Wash your hands, mask up, and do all the things you know you need to do. Sanitize, keep the social distance. It's very, very important, and make sure that if you are not vaccinated, please go for the vaccination. It's very important. The time will come. You need the vaccination to assess certain things. It is not all throw away all those conspiracy theories. Trust me, you need it. Okay, let's be safe. I love to see you, and I know that you also love to see me every Thursday. So guys, good to see you once again, and thank you so much for supporting Men's Lounge till today. Now, this year we want to start on a different note. We are going to start talking money. Before I come back, before I tell you the exact topic and who I'll be here with, I'm going to go on my first break. But remember to join us on all our social media platforms as well, at ETV Ghana. On YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, at ETV Ghana, you can find us. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are in the Men's Lounge. And like I said before the break, we are going to talk money. You know how we have come from 2021, now 2022. And it's obvious some of us have overspent, some of us saved, others are just trying to save and all that. Now, for us in the Men's Lounge, our interest, or one of our most interest, is to educate you, is to help you, tell you how to grow, okay? And so we have decided to start to talk about money. Now, what about money? We are talking those mistakes that you need to avoid in 2022. I don't want to wait to discuss this in June. No, I want to discuss in January, first episode, so that you know what to do by December 2022, 31st. I'll be asking you how much, if only you'll be interested in telling me, but I would like to assess or be able to put a mark to what you've been able to do out of this discussion that we are going to have today. And so with me today, the discussion, you know my favorite person, Mr. Paul. You know that man, right? I think I should give him the chance to today introduce himself to the best way that he wants. He's a friend of the Men's Lounge. He comes here often, but today I want him to look. First episode in January is for him. I'm just dedicating it for him. Paul,
good to see you.
Good to
happy,
see you,
happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, bruv.
Yeah.
It's good to see you once again.
Good to see you.
And today I want you to give us the best introduction. Imagine you were the one starting the show today.
Yeah.
Imagine you were in my seat.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let me do the introduction.
Go ahead.
Hi, happy New Year to all of you. This evening on the show is Paul Kofi Mante, the Managing Director of EDC Investment Limited. So I work for the EcoBank Group, but I believe that in our generation, I've been mandated and called to help people shape their finances. So we spend a lot of time helping people over the years to shape their finances, and I believe that you're going to be blessed this evening, and you will walk through 2022. 31st December, like Yao said, you should be able to look back and say that, look, when it comes to finances, you've done good the year 2022. Yeah.
Paul, one of these days we should have a show with me sitting there and you sitting here. I don't know what we will discuss.
I'll be the host.
And I'll be your guest. Anyway, good to see you.
Yeah,
you know what Corona left us with?
Yeah.
Boza. We don't do the enchiachia anymore. We only do the Boza.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we are discussing money mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay, that we should avoid 2022.
Yeah.
Between now
Yeah.
and 31st. I want to be able to ask people questions. I want to be able to see some of my friends, some of the people who watch the show, and see that there's a change either in their pockets, on their bank account, in their life, something. What are the things that we need to avoid? Money mistakes that we should avoid. And that's what we are going to be discussing
Thank
today.
you.
But before you start, I want to find out this. People are likely to start work fresh. People started only November and December. We are going into a new year. What are the first things we should consider doing when we start making money first?
So I would attempt to deal with that by dealing with as the first money mistake.
Okay.
That is the first thing people should think about. But before I even talk about that first thing, you know, on one of the shows, I asked this question, and as we begin the year, let me ask that question before we deal with the first mistake.
We need it.
If you lost your job today, if you lost your job today in the month of January 2022, question is how many months, how many years can you survive without salary?
That's deep.
I've asked this question over the years, and COVID taught us that, look, there is nothing like a job for life. And it's my wish that those who are following our discussion will get to a point when they are asked this question, their response would be, for the rest of my life. I've built enough investment such that for the rest of my life, I can live the life I want to live. But this evening, I want to touch on about 15 money mistakes to avoid. The first one, to respond to your question, is the lack of decision, the lack of choice, that I want to become financially free. So if you ask me 2022, what should be the first thing people should think about? I think financial freedom. But it will not just happen. It's not automatic. So you need to make a choice. If you don't make that choice, it's a money mistake. Or you see, poverty and riches are both based on decision. How is the decision taken? If you don't decide to become financially independent, financial challenges will be the default. It's not an issue of the size of the salary. No, sir.
You've said it
no,
over
madam.
and over again.
No.
Yeah.
It's that is not. You need to make a decision that I want to become financially independent, because the issue of money is important. I mean, I know that this life is not all about money, but money must be understood.
It's ruling the world, though.
Look, almost everything physical can be answered with money.
Yeah.
Money will give you the ability to do this. And because this show is for men, somebody said, even romance without money is equal to annoyance.
So it brings anger.
So don't be a man who I love you, I love you. Women don't eat I love you.
There's nothing to show.
You show love,
yeah.
You know, and then you express it. So you need to, that decision needs to be made, that I want to become financially independent. If you haven't made that decision, you haven't made that choice, it's a money mistake.
Yeah.
And you got to make that choice. For those who believe in the Bible, Proverbs 22:7, the Bible says the rich rule over the poor. The rich rule over the poor. Let me leave it there. The rich rule over the poor. So the rich anything will rule over the poor anything. It's as simple as that. So the first thing I want to touch on is that decision that needs to be made. Yeah. Make that choice. Let your mind eye see it. The law of first creation states that everything is created twice. Yeah. First mentally and the second physically. Without the first creation, you cannot have the second creation. So 2022, so far as your finances are concerned, must be created twice. First mentally, sit down and write. This year, I want to make my first 10K. I want to make my first 100K. I want to make my first million. Sit down and make that decision on your finances for the year. So it's the first money mistake I think we need to avoid going into 2022 as we walk through 2022. Yeah. Number two, I want to talk about the number two money mistake we want to avoid in 2022 is to go through the year without a plan, without a financial plan.
That's what I was going to. Yeah. Okay. So without a plan.
Without a plan. So the first one is you make a decision. But after it's not enough to say I want to be rich, I want to become financially independent. You got to have a plan. You have to be deliberate. And when it comes to financial plan, the first thing I would recommend you do is what I did with my wife Linda in the year 2006. We sat down and we said, look, let's look at the value of all our assets and let's look at all our liabilities. So we know our smoothness level, you know. What is the total asset? What is the total liabilities? We went through that exercise and we're shocked. We're shocked because the total liabilities were higher than the assets. So if you haven't gone through that exercise as you plan, sit down, go through that exercise. So at least you know where you find yourself now. Then that can influence where you want to go to. You look at the long term, you look at the medium term, then you look at the short term, this year itself, what you want to do this year. And there are 5 areas I always will want to mention when it comes to financial planning, putting a plan together. Whether you like it or not, you'll retire one day. Yeah. So you got to do retirement planning. The last statistics I saw on people who are on retirement, 53% of them, those who are on pension, who are on our national pension, 53% of them are on a monthly pension of less than 1,000 cedis. And some have worked for 20 years, for 30 years, for 35 years. Their monthly pension less than 1,000 cedis, 53% of them. But I mean, I've been doing this job the last 2 decades. I've met people who plan for their retirement, who are having a good life.
Yeah.
Who are having a good life. I have one who is on retirement at the moment, comes to take 40,000 cedis every month. So if you don't have a plan towards your retirement this year, you need to have a plan towards your retirement, because you are already at the crossroads. You have a life-changing decision to make. Will you create the retirement you want, or you take the one that shows up? You don't create what you want, you won't like what shows up.
Yeah.
So retirement planning is just one leg of the planning. The second area is housing.
Okay.
You know, we've talked about housing.
A lot.
The thing I want to say about housing, look, anytime you pay rent, that money is gone for good. It will never come back again. So you pay 2 years rent advance. It's only giving you a temporary place to be sleeping. 2 years will come just like that.
Yeah.
So we are saying that everybody must take, unless it's by choice that you want to live in a rented house for the rest of your life, take steps to have your first house. Don't make the mistake of confusing dream house with the first house. Don't go and build that 7-bedroom house. Charlie, you know go finish.
Who go bed there, Seth?
How many children do you have?
And they will grow and leave you.
They will grow. You see, the complication is, as you are building that 7-bedroom house, you are still paying rent. And you will need years. By the time you are done with that house, the children are gone. You don't need, so build a first house, 3-bedroom house. It's as simple as that. Anybody watching this show, if you're a worker, you are watching this show, and you have a plot of land, and you want to build your first house within 5 years, you can do that. Deliberate. You will have a few challenges with the foundation and the roofing. The block work is the easiest. I mean, you can do the block work in a month. It's the easiest. It's the cheapest. So I want to encourage everybody watching us that one of the areas you need to plan towards is housing. Please don't go and build that huge story building. Build a first house, a simple 3-bedroom house. The third area of planning is the children's education. Once you have the children cannot wait. You can't give birth when the child is a year old. You say, you know what, things are tough. So you need to wait.
Stop growing.
Stop growing. Wait at age 1.
Age 1, don't grow again.
Don't grow again. We are putting a few things together, and then we'll come and take care of you. The child cannot wait.
Yeah.
And today our children don't need properties that I'm building a house and I'll live it. They don't need that.
Yeah.
Give them training, give them quality education.
Yeah.
They will take care of the rest.
Yeah.
So be deliberate about the children's education. As I talk about the children's education, one area I want to touch on, or let me divide it into current school fees, current school fees and then college education. Current school fees, one of the things I recommend you do this year, look at the total school fees you need for the year, the total for all your children, divided by 12 months. So you know the school fees per month. Put a standing order in place. You can set up an investment account. If you come to EcoBank, EDC, we can easily give you a simple account that every month your standing order goes into that account. So in fact, you are paying the school fees every month. So when school reopens, all you do is you withdraw the money, you pay the school fees. School reopens, you withdraw the money, you pay the school fees. Don't wait for school to reopen and you are all over the place trying to mobilize money to pay the school fees.
Yeah.
We've done that over the years. It makes it so easy. You just put in a request, your account is credited within 2-3 days, and then you take care of the school fees. And the college education, think about the kind of a university you want your child to attend, whether it's a public school, it's a private school in Ghana, or you want to send them up abroad. And be deliberate about that. Plan towards that. The fourth area of planning is giving back. If you've never been, you've never had the habit of being a blessing to other people, I want to encourage you this year. In fact, your birthday this year, you can decide to go to an orphanage.
Which is soon for me.
Yeah.
Are you coming with me on the 17th of January? I'll invite you.
Okay. Now I know, so I'll fix it on my calendar.
Fix it.
Yeah. Go to an orphanage. It can be a bag of rice. Go and do a donation. Put a smile on the face of somebody who is less privileged. So plan about giving back. Be deliberate about charity. put a smile on the face of somebody. And the last area of planning on the mistake number 2 is what I call high life. This year to make time and chop some money. Work hard. And when it comes to blowing
enjoy
time,
some. Don't stress all the time, eh? You should chill some.
There are some people, Charlie, they are always planning. The piano swash. On audio here by the piano was swash. Every day, one day you die.
And then somebody will just come and spend all that you.
So work hard, plan for all these areas, but plan for high life. Take a vacation, take a break, go on a weekend somewhere, go and cruise on the lake somewhere, go chill some more and come back re-energized.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the 5th area of planning I want to touch on. Let me go to mistake number 3 that we need to avoid in the year 2022. And it is what I call the self-imposed limitations.
Okay.
Avoid the self-imposed limitations in the year 2022. What are they? There are 3 of them. 1, procrastination.
Okay.
If it must be done, it must be done. It must be done this early January. Early January, yeah, it must be done. Start it. Because there are people who are watching us right now. It's not the first time they are hearing us talking about money.
And they've been waiting.
And they have been waiting. Tomorrow would never come. Some are waiting when my salary is increased, when it becomes better. If it must be done, it must be done now. It must be done well.
Yeah.
So avoid the procrastination. Avoid the excuses. You can have 1,001 excuse why you cannot take off. For a number of people, excuse number 1 is the salary is not enough. The salary would never be enough. It will never be enough. So deal with the excuses and deal with blame. It's my employer, it's the government, it's my wife, it's my children, it's my husband, it's my fiancé. As long as you are looking out of yourself, you cannot take charge of your finances. When it comes to your finances, it is you. It's not your boss, it's not your employer, it's not the government, it is you. Of course, all of these stakeholders will create the environment and to make it easy for you, but take responsibility for that. So avoid the self-imposed limitations in the year 2022. Number 4 is the absence of a budget. A number of people run their lives without a budget.
Okay.
So money comes and money goes. The money comes and money goes. Preparing and living according to a budget can appear restrictive because it's like you are putting restrictions on your own
You
self.
are the same person also say we should go and chill. So right now, crying a day.
So the chilling must be budgeted.
Okay, you budget for the chilling.
Budget for the chilling. I learned this in 2014 at a wedding. You know what I've done since 2014? I have a standing order for high life. So when the salary comes every month, something small goes into a special investment account. It's for chilling.
I see. That's interesting.
So
it makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yes. So if I have to buy a ticket, if we have to travel, I just go into that account, I take it, and then I'm good to go. So I say you should chill, but budget, plan for the chilling.
You should have a ministry of enjoyment on your budget.
Life is short, too.
I get that.
So let's plan,
yeah.
but plan to chill. Hey, let me say it.
Okay.
When you observe a number of marriages in Ghana, especially the Christian marriages, the whole marital life is like a triangle. It's church, work, home. Church, work, home. If you are looking for couples, especially the Christians, they are either in church, they are home,
or at work.
Abrabo ben no. Add high life to it.
Something kakra,
something
small.
Once in a while, go to a good restaurant. Go and chill. Oh, when you go to a good restaurant, go and eat well. They bring you the bill. You and your lover, woman.
Pay. Let me ask questions. Just pay.
You see, when they bring you the bill, 400 cedis, poverty will come and stand behind you and say, wow, this small food.
100 cedis bet me cry.
And all the children can have some. It's poverty. Rebuke it. Say, get behind me, poverty.
I see.
Budget for all these things.
Yeah.
Because if you don't run, you need to know how much is coming in, and you need to have a fair idea where it is going to, and how you are spending what is coming in. in 2022, there are expenditures that may come your way. You need to be able to say that I have not budgeted for this. I am sorry. I wish I can help, but it is not within my budget. If it is not within the budget, it's not within the budget. So in the year 2022, let's learn to run with a budget. Get the whole family involved, sit down and budget. What is the income? What is the outflow? What can we cut out? What can we reduce? One way you can work on the budget is to look at your spending for 3 months, write them down. You would have a fair idea where the cash flows are going to. When it comes to budgeting, you should know that there is an aspect of our spending that are fixed. You can't do anything about it.
Your bills at home and all these things.
But there are some that are variable. That is where you need to be looking at, and you try to cut down as much as possible.
Well, before you proceed on the budgeting, I have something. So you know how in our daily lives, I always say that our life is like a staple chase. Day in, day out, problem no they change. I mean, wahala every day. Something comes up. Now, when you budget, do you need to leave some allowance somewhere to say that, look, once in a while, even though it's not a happy thing to say, a friend or a family says, Nana, can I have some 500? Can I for this or for that? And sometimes, as much as you really want to help, it's a bit tough. And sometimes also, you know that now, in budgeting, sometimes should we do some allowance or allowable cash budget somewhere to sometimes, of course, we want to give back to society or not, but should we do something like this also as part of budgeting?
Good point. So there are two things I want to say in response to this question. Number one is you can factor charity into your budget.
Okay.
So in the budget, you can make provision for Charlie Brothers who come in. Sometimes, you have some old school mates. I mean, and this life we live to also help others.
True.
So you can put that in the budget. But budget soon say you live strictly it's acceptable to sometimes overshoot your budget. If you do plus 10% above your budget, there is nothing wrong with that. Into budget in interest will be won't say will say it's not in my budget. So look, die no. So we can factor helping others in the budget, but beyond that, sometimes emergencies come. You can't do anything about it, and you overshoot your budget. But it's okay. Life must continue. Even in that situation, you are still better off without having the budget and overshooting your budget than not having the budgeting at all. Because you see, if you don't have a budget, that is what leads to the impulse buying. You just buy because there is no plan for the spending. You keep on spending on things you don't need to impress people who don't like you.
Why would you impress someone who doesn't like you? You don't even know the person doesn't like you.
Because you think you want to impress people, but some don't even like. I won't cry anything. How? Number 5. Number 5 is the impression mentality. The impression mentality. People live their lives to impress others. And it's connected to the point we just made. Once you leave the impression mentality, you are not able to take charge of the future. In 2022, we need to have a future mentality rather than impression mentality. As long as you have the impression mentality, you end up living a lie rather than a life. As long as you have the impression mentality, you live a lie rather than a life. Young people are putting themselves under a lot of pressure because of the impression mentality. People are getting married and who are taking loans to marry just because of the impression mentality. People who attend my wedding, they need to know that me too are they. In 2022, avoid the impression mentality. Don't live your life to please anybody. You are not in competition with anybody. You are not in competition. Declare independence.
And you'll be there.
You are not in competition with anybody. The grass may look green at the other side. It may be synthetic grass. Until no pressure, heart attack. So don't live your life to impress anybody in the year 2022. Number 6, money mistake to avoid. Number 6 is relying on a single income. relying on a single income. In the year 2022, you cannot rely on a single income. In the year 2022, you cannot rely on a single income. One of my favorite quotations, let me take it, is that salary is the medicine for managing poverty. Salary does not cure poverty.
It just manages it.
It just manages it. There are two things that will cure poverty: business and investment.
Okay.
But not all of us can run a business, but everybody can invest. You got to start investing now. The worst you can do in the year 2022 is to have investment income as an additional income. If you can run a side hustle, have an investment income as an additional income. Put money into some investment so that money works to generate some income for you. And people who understand this, I met with a man the other day. He understood this concept of your money working for you at a very young age. At the point I met with him, he was making monthly interest of 400K.
400,000.
Yes.
Monthly interest.
Yes.
That's just interest.
Yes.
Hey, I want to be your friend, though. I want whoever you are. I want to be your friend. That's impressive.
Yeah. So in the year 2022, don't rely on a single income. Your salary must not be equal to your income. Your salary must only be one source of income. Your salary must not be equal to your income. Have multiple streams of income. We have been told that when people are hungry, we shouldn't give them fish to eat, but we should do what? Teach them how to fish. But in the year 2022, what we are telling you, don't only learn how to fish, start thinking about how you can own the river.
Well, let's start thinking about how we can own the river. What I've taken so far, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's what it means. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly. If you're just joining us, we are still in the lounge discussing money mistakes that you and we all should avoid in 2022. Already we have done the point number 1 to point number 6. We are going to point number 7. Paul, we are back.
Yes. So point number 7, money mistake to avoid in the year 2022. Not paying yourself.
Okay.
Not paying yourself. And
that's obviously when you are like a business owner.
No, even if you're a salary worker, you're an employee.
Okay.
Not paying yourself and spending windfalls, it's another money mistake. What do I mean? I will explain it. So we all work hard, we make money, but whether you make money as a business owner or as an employee, we end up spending the money.
Okay.
So you work hard. Let me talk to employees here. You work hard, you make the money, the so-called salary, but the so-called salary will end up in other people's pockets. Because you say it's your salary, but once you pay the rent, that money ends up with your landlord. Once you buy the electricity credit, that money ends up with the electricity company. You buy water, you buy clothing, you will eat. Once you eat, that money ends up with the food seller. You pay school fees, that money ends up with the school owner. So watch this. A lot of people have worked hard over the years up to the end of 2021. But all they have been doing is to work hard, make money, to redistribute the money. So the money comes and the money goes. The money comes and the money goes. The mistake we are saying we should avoid this year 2022 is that whatever money that comes to you, a portion of that money, pay it to yourself.
Okay.
It's not for the landlord. It's not for ECG. It's not for the school owner. That money is for you. And people will keep telling you that, oh, already the salary is not enough. How can I put a portion of that salary that is not enough away? There is a law called the Parkinson Law. The Parkinson Law explains why most people retire poor. The Parkinson Law states that no matter how much people earn, they will always adjust their lifestyle to match their salary. So as salary is increasing, lifestyle will be adjusted. To be a
it's never enough.
It's not enough. And I've tested this in a church where everybody said the salary is not enough. I called 10 people at random, gave them pieces of paper. I said, each of you write your salary for me. The salary that is not enough, write it.
Yeah.
The lowest among the 10 was 350 cedis a month. But within the 10, there was one earning 5K a month who says it's not enough. one earning 11,000 a month. Who says it's not enough? One earning 20,000 a month.
Hey.
Who says it's not enough? Yes, it's lifestyle.
I get you. I know that.
It's lifestyle.
Yeah.
You can, people buy one bag, one designer bag for $2,000, one perfume. It's lifestyle. So the salary, it's never going to be enough. People, when a lot of people start life, look at what happens. They go to that special boutique, bend down boutique. That's where they start from. As the salary is increasing, levels will keep changing. Now people go to the boutiques. Now they go to the shopping malls. You get to a point now they are shopping in Dubai.
Now they are calling the brand owners. Hi, Louis Vuitton. Do you have?
So the salary is never going to be enough. You got to learn to pay yourself at the end of every month. How do you do it? I recommend the 10-20-70 principle. You believe in tithing, you pay your tithe. If you don't, you can give 10% to society. But I recommend 20% of whatever you make as a minimum for investment. I've done, look, we've helped a number of people at the individual level, privately. Anybody who can do a minimum of 20% of your income into an investment every month, I give you between 10 and 15 years, you would be financially free. 20% minimum. The maximum of 70% will be for all other things. And you will not die. It doesn't matter how low you think your salary is. Somebody earns less than your salary.
Of course.
If somebody's salary is half of yours.
1/3 of yours.
1/3 of yours. And that person probably has more children than you have. And they are living, they are not dead.
Yeah.
And also invest all windfalls. A windfall is any money you haven't budgeted to receive. Because you would have lived your life without that money.
Yeah.
Budget, it's not part of your income. So it's a money mistake to spend windfall.
Okay.
Invest windfalls. They can't have a proverb. They say, "Onyanseni no di kusi obodompe wu."
Only onyanseni no di kusi
obodompe wu.
I say kusi ani dompe nim.
Kusi ani dompe nim. But you see, if you have fresh omelette tomorrow morning, a fresh egg tomorrow morning, you can prepare your nice omelette. Onya nice one now toast to bread beer. Now this way beer this way so but you see that same egg you can defer consumption.
Okay.
When you defer consumption, you can hatch that same egg into a chicken. But the chicken will grow. When the chicken grows and you pick the wings or you pick the thigh,
there are bones in there.
There are bones in there.
Oh,
when you bite the bones in the wings or the thigh, you have bitten bone in your egg.
Your egg. Okay.
It was onyanseni ino odikosia obodompe.
It is only the wise
that bite bones out of eggs. It's only the wise that bites bones out of eggs. You see, within every income, there is food and seed. As you walk through 2022, keep this in mind. Within every income, there is food and there is seed. Just like in most fruits, you will find seed and food. The food is for consumption and the seed is for sowing. It's for investment.
Okay.
It's for planting. The pathetic story for a number of people is that we consume both the food and the seed in our income. A man's wealth is not dependent only on the income he receives from a single source, but also on his ability to convert his income into streams of income. So we are saying that learn to pay yourself from this month. And the minimum is 20%. We can help you. You set up an investment account and you put a standing order on your account. So for example, you know I'm paid on the 26th of every month. You put a standing order on the 27th or 28th. Into a drop a day or two after, papa, you see the alert. You feel this is small.
But it's okay, you'll be fine.
It's okay, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So that 20% or 30%, whatever you can do. There is a guy who followed some of these discussions, came to my office the other day. He's doing 50% every month.
I see.
50% every month. So learn to pay yourself. Mistake number 8 is borrowing to consume.
Okay.
Whenever you are borrowing, you should borrow to do things that will generate money. You don't borrow to consume. Don't borrow to go and marry. Don't borrow for a wedding.
So that's something here,
because I hear it a lot.
And you are sad.
Yes. Because once you borrow to marry, you have started your marriage in a pit.
Yeah. You need to live to pay off all those
climb
bills
up
before
you come to sea level. And then you can start life.
And you have a family that your parents are asking for the children from day one.
So don't borrow to consume. You know the first miracle Jesus performed in the Bible, changing water to wine, because there was a shortage at wine at the wedding. So even in the days of Jesus, there were shortages at weddings.
It wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough then. Who told you say yours will be enough? So don't borrow to consume.
Okay.
Because you are not in competition with anybody. You are not in competition with anybody. Number 9 rather. Number 9 money mistake to avoid in the year 2022 is confusing assets with liabilities.
Voila.
Confusing assets with liabilities. What do I mean? And let me borrow this concept from Robert Kiyosaki. So assets are anything you put money in that brings money back into your pocket.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. Liabilities are anything you put money in that will take money out of your pocket. So anything that takes money out is a liability. Anything that puts money in is an asset. It's as simple as that.
Aren't there exceptions?
Oh, there are exceptions. So these are general guidelines that will help us. Because there are some things that will appear as assets and liabilities. And you cannot completely live your life without liabilities. Some of the things that will take money out of your pocket. But focus your energies on building assets. Focus your energies on things that will bring money back into your pocket. And nothing is an asset or a liability. It depends on the cash flows.
Okay.
So a car can be an asset or a liabilities. Or a liability. It depends whether it is bringing money into your pocket or it's taking money out of your pocket. The car you buy, you drive for an hour, you park in the sun till evening, you drive back home. That same car could be an Uber that drops you in the morning and goes to work to generate some cash flows. So in the year 2022, please don't confuse asset with liabilities. I want to encourage you to focus your energies on asset. What are the things I can put money in that will bring money to me, rather than the things that will take money out of my pocket. Money mistake number 10 to avoid in the year 2022 is not watching spending habit. Not watching it. You need to pay attention to that area. Anytime you are spending, you need to ask yourself, do I really need this?
Okay.
Do I really need this? Can I afford it? Do I need it? If you don't need it, don't spend money on it. You see, almost every expenditure can be cut down between 1 and 70%. Almost every expenditure, if you pay attention to it. Even buying a ticket to travel, you can cut it down.
True.
You can cut it down. So watch your spending habit in the year 2022. Don't confuse needs with wants. There are two different things. Don't confuse needs with wants. In the year 2022, remember your income must dictate what you eat, not your appetite.
But you have to chill.
You plan for
plan
it.
To chill.
Plan to chill. Plan to chill.
Yeah.
Your salary must dictate what you eat, or your income must dictate what you eat, not your appetite. Watch spending habit. Simple areas like utilities. You can keep an eye on it. You can reduce your electricity bill. The time you switch off the light, the time you switch on the light, if you left the light on throughout the night, when you are not using it, so your living room light is on, the kitchen lights are on throughout the night, that is money going down the drain. So if you pay attention to these areas, you can cut down on your spending. And as you are cutting down on your spending, you are saving money. That makes it easy to save and then invest. That makes it easy to save and invest. If you watch spending habit, you are able to avoid the impulse buying. It's connected to the impression mentality. Put your children in schools you can afford. You are not in competition with anybody. If you cannot afford, change their schools. Don't put unnecessarily pressure on yourself. Avoid simple things like throwing away leftover food. Anytime you throw away leftover food, it is not food you are throwing away. It is money you are throwing away. I've observed something from the wealthy. I mean, we manage, at the moment, we are managing about 5.2 billion cities. So good money. So we meet a few millionaires, dollar millionaires here and there. they are very disciplined with their spending. So you visit a millionaire, they say, wait and let's have lunch. The wife will come and ask you, we are preparing plantain, how many fingers will you eat?
And you'll be shocked.
You'll be shocked.
Yeah.
Because they cook thinking about the people who will eat.
Yeah.
Even the way they serve. When you visit these wealthy people, they don't dish out the food. The rice is in a flask somewhere, the stew is somewhere, there is an empty plate, there is a ladle, and they say, oh, serve.
Aesthetically looks nice. You think you are in some rich home.
And they say, oh,
they're actually managing
yourself. And you see, they say, you are a visitor, they say, serve yourself. We are seated at one side. The man is seated at the other side. They say, serve yourself.
How dare you go take more than what you can eat? That will look very awkward.
You know it. So watch spending habit in the year 2022. Don't go to the shopping mall without a shopping list. Don't go to the market without a shopping list. Yeah. It brings a lot of discipline your way.
Yeah.
I remembered something. When you take the children out, don't go out with them without a budget. Agree on a budget with them at home. As we are going to the mall, you have 3 children. You are the big boy. Your budget is 200 cedis. Your budget is 150. Your budget is 120 or 100. Let them know from home. When they get to the mall, when they pick any item, the first thing they will look for is the price.
Yeah.
And once they look at the price and it's outside their budget, they will drop it themselves. You don't need to talk.
Okay. Nice strategy, yeah. You give them their limits.
You give them their limits.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done that over the years with our children. There are a few times we go to the mall, they will have their own caucus meeting in the mall, and they will come and see us. You know what? We have a budget today. We don't want to use the budget for today, on condition that it will be credited to us during the next.
Oh, that's what they tell you?
Yes.
That's smart.
Yes. So it's okay. You have a credit of 100 cedis, 200 cedis, so they can add the next allocation to buy what they want to buy. In the same mall, you'll find other children crying because they want to take the entire mall home. They are crying and father or mother has not budgeted for what they want to buy.
Yeah.
If you are not careful, a stranger will advise you, oh, children, it's nothing. I'll buy it for you.
They don't even know what your budget is, and they tell you to buy.
They don't know your budget, but they are advising you.
Yeah.
So sit with the children. It's part of watching spending habit. Agree with them with the budget. They know how much the limits are before they even step in the mall.
Yeah. Well, you need to agree with the kids. It's all part of planning. So I say you have to plan. Like I said earlier, if you don't plan, or if you fail to plan, it means you are planning to fail. Let's go on our very last break. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're in the lounge discussing money mistakes that you and I, all of us, should avoid this 2022. And I'm still here with Paul from EDC. I'm sure you know who he is. He's the only Paul when you go to EDC. Anyway, so we are going to number 11, right?
11, yes. Yeah. So money mistake number 11 we need to avoid this year is absence of a money machine. You can't walk through 2022 without a money machine.
What is a money machine?
You got to get a machine that prints money for you.
Paul, I said, what are you talking about? Okay. All right, so I'm listening.
There is a point in a man's life or a woman's life when you work for money. But there must be a point when money must work for you. So in the year 2022, money must work for you.
Okay, so that's the money machine. So
when I talk about money machine, it's being deliberate about creating things that create money for you. And there are about 3 I want to touch on very quickly. One are what I call paper assets.
Okay.
Paper assets. So if you have paper assets, and paper assets are things like treasury bills, treasury bonds, fixed deposit, the EDC fixed income fund, balance fund. All these are paper assets. I love paper assets. You know why? They are quiet. You put your money, you can have 1 million CD there. If you don't tell anybody, nobody knows that you have 1 million there. The money works for you and it generates money. So paper asset is one example of a money machine that creates money. Like the man who is making 400K a month, and I have a few people here and there, 50K a month, 100K a month. It's a money machine. The money works for them and it creates money. Another area of money machine is when you have a business running, when you have a side hustle. especially if you have a business or a side hustle that can run without you. It's another money machine. So you are working, you are doing stuff, but you have something on the side that is also generating money. It's another money machine we could look at. And the third one would be properties or real estate. Real estate, it's another money machine. The thing about real estate is you got to get the location right. If you don't get location right, it's a complete waste of money. It's a complete. I had to help somebody who had spent $80,000 on a house at the wrong place. The monthly rental income was 500 cedis, which is less than $100.
That bang.
Yeah, on an $80,000 investment. If you don't find a way to make your money work for you while you are asleep, you will keep working at the time you have to be sleeping.
And eventually leave.
So you got to have a money machine so that even at the time you are asleep, the money can make money for you, or that money machine can make money for you. Because, look, we remember when President Kufuor became the president of Ghana. 20 years has gone down already. We don't have all the time. So in the year 2022, we want to encourage you that you by all means got to create a machine that will create money for you.
Yeah.
You got to create a machine that will create money for you. Money mistake number 12. Money mistake number 12 is absence of a plan for Operation 1 million. Operation 1 million, Operation 1 million, Operation 1 million. It's something I started talking about the year 2016. 2017, I did a book on Operation 1 million. And it is the fact that the average Ghanaian can make 1 million cedis in your lifetime. 1 million Ghana cedis in your lifetime. And I don't mean the old currency, I mean the new currency.
Not even the old one.
No. 1 million proper Ghana, 1 million Ghana cedis. After one TV show, somebody came to the office, said, look, I want to invest. I listened to your program. I have 1 million cedis to invest. So I did all this.
He already has the million.
Yes, yeah. So I handed him over to one of the guys that, look, so sort him out. I left for a meeting. I came back. Have you saw it? He said, there's a problem. So what is the problem? He said, we finished with everything. I asked the man, will you issue a check or you want to transfer? He said, the money is in my pocket. 1 million cedis in your pocket? No, he was referring to the old currency. 100 Ghana cedis. But this 1 million we are talking about is current proper 1 million. You know, if you can invest 150 cedis every month, I'm using 18% compounded quarterly. Within 27 years, you cross 1 million. If you can do 500 cedis every month, within 23 years, you cross 1 million. 600 cedis every month, within 19 years, you cross 1 million. 1,000 every month, within 16 years, you cross 1 million. 1,500 a month, within 14 years, you cross 1 million. 3,000 a month, within 11 years, you cross 1 million. 6,000 a month, within 8 years, you cross 1 million. You can go on and on. Everybody watching this show will find your level somewhere. It's not going to happen overnight. Minimum 5 years, maximum 25 years. Everybody can make at least 1 million Ghana cedis. I call it Operation 1 million. And a lot of people have, so I said I started talking about it in 2016. The first church I spoke about Operation 1 million, a number of young people, 20s, 30s, came to the office, they signed on to Operation 1 million. Some are almost hitting the million today. Young people, none of them over 40 years. Some started to hit the million. So Operation 1 million. Don't go through 2022 without a plan for Operation 1 million. And we don't charge money. If you want a customized plan, you walk to our office, we'll give you a plan. We'll give you a plan for, and when we end, I'll also put a contact center line for people who need help. We don't charge any money.
You should be planning
to do
that.
You watch this show and you need a plan for Operation 1 million. We'll give you a plan and we'll hold your hands and we'll help you to make the 1 million. I remember they're talking about this in the church. I asked how many can make 150, can deposit 150 every month, the whole church. You see, as the figure increases, the number of hands kept reducing. By the time we got to 3,000 a month, it was one woman. 6,000, the same woman. So I walked to her, I said, you're a powerful woman. He said, me, I'm only lifting my hand by faith. Number 13. Number 13. not taking advantage of the concept of little by little and the power of compounding. The major challenge for a number of people is they are waiting for their first 10K. They are waiting for their first 100K to start. No, you got to build up little by little.
Yeah.
You can start with 100 cedis. In fact, our fixed income fund, you can even start with 50 cedis. 50 cedis, you can start. Build it up little by little. Little by little. John D. Rockefeller started working as a clerk, earning $3.75 per week. From this amount, he gave up to his church and saved 50 cents. It wasn't much, but it was a beginning. By the time he was 50, he was perhaps the richest man in the world. Took this from Brian Tracy. You got to build up little by little. Even the good book, Proverbs 13:11, the Bible says, dishonest money dwindles away, but he who gathers money little by little makes it grow. So build up little by little. You'll be surprised what 100 cedis a month could do. 100 cedis a month in 30 years is 1.3 million. Little by little. 200 cedis a month in 30 years is 2.6 million. I'm using 18%. Compounded quarterly. Little by little. 2K a month within 15 years, 1.7 million. Little by little. Got to build up little by little. Don't wait for lump sum. Wherever you find yourself now, if it's even 20 cedis you can start with, you got to start with somewhere. So little by little. Let me go to the next one, which is number 14.
We are almost there.
Yeah, number 14 is trying to make quick money.
Okay.
Quick one. And a lot of fraudsters in town. One called me yesterday. I mentioned my name. I don't know how you got to know my name. So how are you still with the EDC? I said yes. Oh, you remember I used to work with this mining company. Now I've moved to this mining company. Charlie, there is some contracts. I will direct you where to get some valves that you will supply, and you will make mention some crazy money. Said, I'm sorry, my work will not allow me to do this side hustle. But I knew he was a fraudster. So don't fall for these tricks. You cannot, money, if you take the shortcut will always become long. Money is not made overnight. Money is made little by little. So avoid the temptation to make quick money. Be careful of the unregulated space. If you deal in a business that is regulated, it doesn't give you 100% cover, but it gives you some protection than when you deal in the unregulated space. Avoid investing at the wrong places. So that is, and of course, if you have to invest at the right place, I'll say you come to my office. You come to
Why
EDC.
not?
Our fixed income fund,
Yeah.
over the last 8 years, has done an average annual return of 21%. When you compare to Treasury bill year on year, the fund may return about 3% above Treasury bill.
Okay.
So you get decent returns, but it's also flexible. You can have access to your money anytime you need it. You can do this from any EcoBank branch. Let me deal with the last key because of the time.
Yes,
and that is the lack of balance.
Lack of balance.
Lack of balance. It's a mistake you need to avoid. And when I talk about balance, I'm talking about balance at two levels. One level is when there is no balance in the family income. So there are some families, couple, who rely on only one person.
Okay.
Or largely rely on one person. So they are married, but the wife is bringing in 90%, 80% of the income, or the husband is bringing in 80%, 90% of the income. Charlie, it's a dangerous thing. We have seen children dropping out of school because the father lost the job or because the mother lost the job. So let there be a balance if you are married in the family income. If one is on a low income level in 2022, be deliberate about helping the person build capacity to come up. Because it makes the journey towards financial independence faster.
Easier as well.
And easier as well. So let there be a balance if you are married as a couple in your income, but let there be a balance in your pursuit for money and other areas of life.
Okay.
Let me take a quotation from Brian Dawson. He said, imagine life as a game in which you are juggling some 5 balls in the air. You name them work, family, health, friends, and spirit. You will soon recognize that work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it will bounce back. But the other 4 balls, family, health, friends, and spirit, are made of glass. If you drop one of these, they will be irrevocably scarred. So as we talk about making money, make sure that you balance making money with your social life. Make time for friends. Make time to connect. Make sure you balance it with your health. Don't sacrifice your health for money, else the money you make becomes an inheritance. Don't sacrifice money for your spiritual life, else you will make money but you'll be emotionally bankrupt. Don't sacrifice making money for your family, so you don't have time for your spouse, you don't have time for your children. It's only money, money, money. Don't make that mistake. So that is the last money mistake I want to share. Those who want to take this knowledge to another level can also get copies of my books and read them. I've authored 4 books. David Chilton, the Wealthy Baba, says the best time to plant an oak tree is 20 years ago, and the next best time is today. If you want to see the benefits of a tree, you should have planted it 20 years ago. If you made a mistake 20 years ago, the next time you need to plant is today. It's today. And I say the best time you should have started was 20 years ago. If you made a mistake, the next best time is January 2022.
Okay.
And no other time.
Okay. Well, don't say we didn't tell you. And that is how we want to start our year at the Men's Lounge. We want to tell you how to be financially dependent. Depend on yourself. Make sure that you have financial independence. You don't have to depend on anybody. By December 31st, 2022, I will be asking, where are we on this? And I'll be a reminder. I am sure that day I'll be here with Paul and we'll be asking you those questions. Well, this is all that time could allow us to give you. Thank you so much for being part of it. Paul, yeah. I'll need you to put out the contacts now.
Yeah, sure.
And then today, again, you are saying goodbye on the show. You are rounding up the show. So put out the contacts, and then let's go.
Okay, so let me put out the contacts. Those who need help, you can call our contact center, 0302 634165. 0302 634165, or you can call this number or WhatsApp this number, 0544 349628. 0544 349628. You can call this number or you can WhatsApp this number. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, wherever. If you drop a message there, you need help, you drop a message, I would respond. You need help, I'll get somebody to help you.
Okay.
What we are doing in the bank is not just making money. We are there to also help people change their lives and become better.
Okay. All right then. So you heard it from himself. We are only helping people to change them and make their lives better. Thank you so much for this evening. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode of The Men's Lounge. Please stay safe. It's very important. COVID is still in the corner. Don't be like those other people, or else I won't be seeing you and you won't be seeing me. Stay blessed.